In the last few years, North America has seen the birth of what is rapidly becoming a strong and vibrant hip-hop scene in the South Asian community. Second and third generation Punjabis have been leading the charge and driving this momentum, and nowhere is this better seen than on the east coast of Canada, in Toronto. The Punjabi hip-hop sound in Toronto is already one of the most recognisable, with many of the rappers and MCs featuring across each other's records and introducing others as guests on their tracks. New music travelled to Toronto, where we met an artist who is a fully fledged member of the predominantly-Punjabi Believe Me music family, but has a background that has given him the experience of a variety of cultures and people. We met up with Strictly Steele.
Wow, my dad was always like just pushing music onto me from like a little kid. So I remember I would be like a little kid and I would play with vinyl records as toys because my dad had so many of them. And my dad would come into the house like screaming at me because I'd scratch up his new Daddy Kane CD or like smash his LL Cool J CD. So like my mom used to listen to like the R&B, my dad used to listen to hip hop, like reggae, like real conscious reggae. And used to listen to a lot of drum and bass too, so that kind of explains why I'm always looking for that left, like weird sound that I normally incorporate in my music. My uncle used to have a sound system back in the day. My dad used to like tour the whole of Europe doing drum and bass sets, so it's just always been around. There's never been a point where I've been like, I need something to listen to. There's always been something I can pick up and listen to. So starting music, I actually just made it just grime really inspired me. So that's why it inspired me from the start.
Strictly Steele, what's for breakfast? Waffles and beats. Welcome to the dope house, motherfuckers. Yeah.
Wow, my full name is Strictly Steele, my real name. Strictly Steele. I just wanted to incorporate my last name because I don't know, I just think it sticks out a little bit. So born and raised in Birmingham, I grew up in Harwinder specifically, so literally just off Silver Road. I've been in Canada for four years now. I left Silver Road, like those sides, probably when I was just going to high school, so like I was probably 12, 13.
In the war, of fame, pain, love, it's all the same.
Like I went to school literally in a Catholic school. And I tell my friends this all the time, but they don't really believe me. I didn't actually like really see white people until I went to secondary school, because in my area it was probably like 50% black people, like 40% Indian, like Pakistani, Bangladeshi, and the rest were all either white people that thought they were black anyway, so I didn't really think of them as like white people. So it was a crazy mix. And the crazy story is like normally when people go on trips in school, they'll go to like theme parks. We actually went to the Gurdwara down the road from our school to go visit, and that was like a crazy experience because there was just like a whole bunch of these like colored kids there, and they're like, why are we here as a school trip? But that was crazy. So
Strictly Steele's upbringing in the multicultural Birmingham area of Handsworth has clearly had a great impact on his life, which is not surprising. Many of the world's biggest artists in Bhangra, reggae and soul started out along the infamous Soho Road stretch, and are obvious heroes to artists just starting out.
I'm always gonna be a fan first, so I know some people like they make music and it's like, oh, I can't listen to that guy, I don't really like that guy. It's just because they're an artist. Like I've always considered music to my first love, so I don't want to disrespect music by not studying it and not knowing where certain sounds come from. So I'm always gonna be a fan first. And like the most obvious thing is the accent, which trips people out because they're like, you make music, you rap, but you have an English accent, and they don't really comprehend it. When I came to Canada, a lot of people was surprised that I was black and British at the same time. It's like that doesn't exist. Like that doesn't work, and it's like, why do you sound so weird? Like I used to ask people to guess where I'm from. They used to always come up with some small Caribbean island. I'm like, actually born and raised in England. My parents were born and raised in England. My grandparents were born up in Jamaica, so they've been in England more times than they have in Jamaica, and they still have the thickest accent, so I don't know how to explain that, but I think it's just people hearing something different. It's easy, like you can recognize me as soon as you hear something, and you kind of, some people sleep over it, they don't really want to take it in, but some people listen because it sounds so weird, so I guess whichever side of the fence you're on.
They wanna know how much the grams in my swerve, cause I'm young and black, coming straight out of hand swerve. But I told them the more that you were planned for. Giving lessons to free, you should be thankful. As I stood and I cried, these tears of fears which later on become lakes of mistakes. I realize as I'm late, in a bit of a strain, I gotta keep my head up and I gotta maintain. I'm never overboard, cause I'm starting in my boat shoes. Not just me, my whole crew's here too. They tell me cheer up, where the bottle's at, and where's the glasses at, and where's your glasses up.
In England, you're automatically like considered an MC. I used to actually start off MCing over grime instrumentals, like garage, like that's how I started off making my music. So the hip hop thing is really kind of recent to me. It was kind of pushed upon me by DVS. He's like, man, you can do grime, but can you do this? I'm like, I don't know, man. He's like, you can do it, you can do it. So he kind of pushed that up on me, and it's took me a while to adapt to it, so I'm still learning to this day. But I don't know, there's a very like, the line between being an MC and a rapper, it's kind of hard to say what is what, but an MC, I believe, is someone that can incorporate music from any level, so they can jump on a dubstep song, they can jump on a banger song that will still sound crazy. So that's what I think an MC is. Rapper is still hard to define. Honestly, I just want to keep on getting better at my craft. Keep making music, obviously. I don't, even if I'm not inspired, I'm gonna have to find something to inspire me. So I don't want to just make music for the sake of, oh, they want to hear a song, let's make a song for them. It's mostly a personal thing that I make music for, so I'm not just gonna make a song for the sake of it. It has to have some kind of feeling, some kind of something behind it. So I just want to keep developing my craft better, and just keep rising up with everyone that's around me, working off people around me, networking, traveling more. Just keep expanding. I don't see any reason to stop.
Having grown up in the UK, Strictly Steele is well placed to comment on how the Toronto movement has come about in the international scene, and to suggest why the way the music industry used to work is changing.
It's crazy. I was actually in England October, and I just came back in June. So the UK scene right now it's lifting up, because I think people are just looking past the accent now.
Yeah.
Like, these guys can actually make music, and I think the scene in England, it's crazy because everyone supports their own artists. Everyone supports UK artists. In Canada, it hasn't really happened until now. So you'll see like a lot of Canadian people are supporting Canadian artists, which is what helping the scene develop more. Before, people were always looking overseas for something. They were looking to the States, they were looking to the UK for the newest sound, but instead they're looking internally. So I think that's what's making Toronto come up on the rise now too.
Strictly Steele is online at strict.bandcamp.com, where you can download his work.